YouTube, how the heck you doing? This is Corey here with Watcher of Realms. We are back with another one. So the question of today really is, what is more important? Should you go ahead and push your demon soldiers, or should you go push your BP? What is the most important thing that you should focus on for Guild v Guild in order to get into that Overlord tier, get into that top 10, that top 5, that top 2, right? Or even maybe one day you go ahead and get into Mad. Who knows, right? But the most important thing, and I'm just going to cut straight to it, I think the most important thing is your demon soldiers, and here's why, right? So nowadays, a lot of the units that are in Guild v Guild that tend to be really high performing are magic damage units. You're looking at your Ymrit, you're looking at your Ajax, you're looking at your Boreas, your Anora, who else? Those are pretty much the main damage dealers in Guild v Guild, at least as of right now. And then on the side, you have like units like Sargak, you have your, who else? Hots, it's okay, you have your Wukong. But for the most part, the most effective units right now are magic damage units. So here's why Demon Soldier levels are so important and why you should prioritize those heavily. First thing is, when you go ahead and get level 7, for a lot of these units, you are getting that magic damage reduction, which is absolutely essential in a lot of cases because a lot of the teams that you're going against have at least some form of magic damage. They have to. Also, Ingrid, Praetus, duh, magic damage. How could I forget them, right? Even your dogs, for example, your level 7 dogs, go ahead, get magic damage reduction. Additionally, if we were to go through even these units, right? The destroyers, 15% magic resist. And then if we were to go over here to the final one, 25% magic resist. So Moonton has identified that a huge source of damage in this game for Guild v Guild is magic damage. Even right here, right? Magic resist plus 10. So you can go through pretty much every single unit here and you will see some form of magic resist. In this case, right, the axes get physical and magic damage reduction. So it's really important to go ahead and push your demon soldiers because they are the ones that are doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you, right? Now, with that being said, as you get these level 5s, you even get some really good Shadowcasters get physical damage reduction, but it makes sense because they already have really good magic resist and they dodge. So, kind of important, right? So, when you get to those level 5s, you get some really important breakpoints. The first one that I like to always talk about is Necros, because once you go ahead and get level 5 Necros, it is such a difference in terms of how strong they actually are and what they're able to do on the map. The increased resistance for those skeletons and making them stronger is a game changer. It really is. And then secondly, the other one that I think is really important is level 5 axes. Once you get to level 5 axes, you feel the difference. They actually do damage. They hurt a lot. And then the final one that I always like to harp on is realistically just the level 5 lightning guards. This 15% attack is really nice. And then also, right, you get to this. Physical damage reduction 25%. What's the thing that takes out lightning guards the most? The easy answer is it tends to go ahead and be like Sargak. It tends to be like a Yovar. It tends to be some form of physical damage dealing unit. Hatsu, for example, right? So you want to go ahead and push your demon levels as much as possible. They're the ones that do the most heavy lifting for you, right? And then, so what does that mean? You pretty much need to be farming at all times, right? Right now, I'm not really sure about how much I like this personal seed. It's giving some decent results. However, we'll see how it goes, right? But you need to basically be farming 24/7 as much as you can, because also you get the benefit of you are getting some good rewards in terms of you're getting the fabric so you can go ahead and create gear, which is really important. And then also you get some kickbacks, right, with the diamonds, with the additional things like the actual gear that you could go ahead and ascend. So farm as much as you can, push those demon soldiers. Now the second thing, which is the actual BP of units, right? So you also want to go ahead and try to push your BP as much as you can, because the higher BP your units are, the more damage they will do when affiliated to your demon soldiers. So right now, most of these units are not in their BP gear, but the most important thing is with these recent changes, Lords are really important. Lords will go ahead and give you anywhere from a 1.0 or a 1.10 to a 1.15% boost in terms of your actual BP in the conflict, so in the battles, right? So what does that mean? An A5 Valdron, right? Let's say right now he's this is his BP, right? He's not in his gear at all, not even remotely. But let's just say for easy sense, right? His BP right now in terms of his strength would be somewhat closer to like a 1016 right now. Reason being is A5 goes ahead and gets a 1.15 multiplier. Now my Praetus here is A2, so he would go ahead and get a 1.12% multiplier to his overall BP. So even right now, he is higher than my Valkyra. It doesn't seem like it, but he will go ahead and perform better than my Valkyra will in this very moment. Now, he will perform worse than my Uridan, but you always want to go ahead and push your lords to the highest BP that you have the ability to push them. And especially the units like Yovar, because Yovar, for example, is the highest BP giving lord. So I believe, if I remember correctly, when you have an A5 Yovar, he can easily push you about 125k raw BP. So whenever you go ahead and include the lord bonus for that, you're looking at around like 144k in terms of BP that he's going to go ahead and give your units when affiliated. So you want to go ahead and push your lords as much as possible. Uridan is a fantastic unit as well. He gives the second highest BP overall, second to Yovar. But with Uridan, right, he can go ahead and get to about 136k, which is still 8k less than Yovar. And you can't really go ahead and affiliate a Maw to a Uridan. It has to be a Lord as well. So with all that being said, you want to go ahead and try to push your Yovars as high as you can, your Lords as high as you can, your Uridan as high as you can, but nothing really compares to go ahead and just farming as much as you can, pushing your units to the max that you can go ahead and push, because when you get to those level 5 breakpoints, you feel it. And when you get to those level 7 breakpoints, you will definitely feel it as well, because the resistances are huge, especially when you go ahead and factor in that you're getting hit multiple times by these various units in Guild v Guild. That resistance paired with like a healer, for example, could easily be the difference between your unit surviving or your unit dying and having you fail or win the run, right? If your units are tanky enough, they don't die, they're taking up block. And if they take up block, the dogs are going to go run through, the necros are going to run through, everything is going to be so much more successful. So I strongly recommend push the demon soldiers. They're going to make a difference. See ya.